You guys, happy Thursday. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. If you guys are watching the replay on Facebook Live, always let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe right here at this button and give me a thumbs up if you guys find any sort of value in this video. Now, I got this question over on LinkedIn, so I was like, why not make a live stream YouTube tutorial on this? And the question is this: what are the key differences between a LinkedIn post and a LinkedIn article? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm just going to go through not necessarily pros and cons, but just the key differences. And I'm going to give you guys at the end of this video what my strategy is going to be going forth with LinkedIn articles versus LinkedIn posts. Because the key difference between both of these, and I want you guys to jot this down, is that a LinkedIn post is a status update. So kind of think like over on Facebook, if you guys are watching on Facebook, you know, when Facebook asks you, you know, what's on your mind today, and you can type about anything. It can be one sentence, it can be on LinkedIn up to 1,300 characters. You type what you're thinking, you know, you type something about your business. Maybe you got a quick win in your business. Maybe you recently got a loss, whatever. You write that as a status update and you press submit. And then your audience, your connections interact with that status update. And more importantly, if you use hashtags, if you use SEO, it goes out into the network on separate pages and people can comment like that aren't currently in your network. So that's what a post does. Now, what an article is, and this is the key difference that I want you guys to think of, and you know, while I'm discussing what the key differences are, is that an article on LinkedIn is very similar to a blog post, okay? So I want you guys to write that down. A status update, or a post is a status update, an article is a blog post, okay? So when you're over on Facebook and you're typing in on what's on your mind, or maybe you're on LinkedIn, you know, it says new post and you can type whatever. You can be like, you know, I just got an ice cream sandwich, or, you know, I just made 6 figures today on a deal with a client, whatever you want to talk about. Even the follow train people, connection counter Carols, they're like, you know, I just got my 20, what was I gonna say? Let's just say 20,000th connection on LinkedIn, okay? They're typing that in, they're pressing submit, done and dusted, okay? Whereas a LinkedIn article is SEO based. So what does that mean? That means that your article has the opportunity to show up on search engines, okay? So when you're typing out the article, you actually get 125,000 characters. Now, this is a drastic difference between LinkedIn posts, where you only get 1,300 characters. When I write my LinkedIn posts in the morning, which you guys, or if you guys are watching now and you follow me on LinkedIn, if you're not following me on LinkedIn, go follow me on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/in/Kylie Francis. If you guys know that I post every single day on LinkedIn, and usually I'm over like 600 characters on my posts, and I'm like, how am I going to talk about this topic and get it under 1,300 characters? I always say to myself every single day, it's actually really funny. It's usually around 400, 500, 600 characters that I'm over the limit. And I'm just like, it takes me like 10 minutes just to edit it down so it still makes sense. But that's a main struggle of mine. So comparing that to a LinkedIn article, you get 125,000 characters. Now, what is the main difference between posting a status update versus the article? Like I said earlier, you want to think of it as a blog post. Now, if you were to go on Google right now and you were to type in pretty much anything about LinkedIn, like the key differences between, you can even type in this question, the key differences between a LinkedIn post and a LinkedIn article, what's going to pop up is you're going to see www.linkedin.com/insert article number here, okay? So what pops up on Google is the article, not your status updates. Now you're probably thinking, okay, you know, I haven't done any articles yet. Now I need to prioritize that over posts, which isn't true at the same time, because the key difference too is that the posts on social media will grow your visibility within the network, because when you post on social media, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, when you create that post, it uploads right into the newsfeed, okay? When you publish an article on LinkedIn, you're sharing the blog post from another section onto LinkedIn. So I can't remember how specifically or exactly it shows up because the algorithm changes all the time, but it's going to show up as a link, okay? You're sharing the post from another part of LinkedIn. So the difference between that and a status update is you're writing, you know, hey, my name's Kylie Francis, and then you put a picture of yourself and you post it. That's what's coming up on the news feed, and that's how your connections can see what you're talking about immediately. They like that, they share that, they comment, etc., etc. Now, this is for me, so if you guys are watching, if there's any LinkedIn experts watching and you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, but from what I'm gathering, I think that both posts and articles are very vital. So I come from a search engine social media marketing background with Pinterest. That's how I first started online. That's how I first started making passive income online. It was through the Pinterest search engine. So what I know about search engines is this, is when you take the time to create an article on LinkedIn and you post that, it's less about instant gratification of vanity metrics, and it's more about uploading your expertise onto a search engine. Because the articles that I was talking about before, when I was like, you know, if you type in anything about LinkedIn and, you know, the LinkedIn blog shows up, those were from 2016, okay? That would never happen with a status update. Why is that? Because LinkedIn is a time-sensitive platform, just like Instagram, just like TikTok, just like Facebook, okay? It's not like Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, because when you go on platforms like blog, Pinterest, YouTube, and podcasting, you can type in something like LinkedIn marketing for beginners, you know, insert something I want to learn about here. When you type that into the search engine, you get the most relevant result back, okay? It's an input versus output based on relevancy. Now, how is that different from the status update? So you see on Facebook, maybe an Instagram post, Instagram story, LinkedIn post. When you type it, you press submit, it's a ticking time bomb, okay? And that varies on the platform. As we see right now on Instagram and Facebook, that ticking time bomb like ticks and blows up in 30 minutes, right? And only 3% of your following is seeing that content on those platforms. But if you post it on LinkedIn, especially now, because not all platforms stay the same. So if you're watching this video in 2025, you know, don't follow this advice because it's probably going to change. But when you post now on LinkedIn, the organic algorithm is to our advantage. So you could log on to LinkedIn. Someone recently liked my post from 5 years ago. And I was like, how did this person see my post from 5 years ago? They probably haven't logged on in 5 years, okay? That's how crazy the LinkedIn organic algorithm is right now, but that's to our advantage, especially compared to Instagram and Facebook. That's why people ask me, you know, what platform should I be on for my business right now? And I'm like, if you're just starting out, do not use Instagram and Facebook. You should use it. Don't prioritize is what I should say. Don't prioritize Instagram and Facebook unless you're going to use advertising, because the algorithm is not to our advantage anymore. That train has left the station 2 years ago. So if you're trying to battle your way to 10,000 followers on Instagram, it's really not to your favor. Okay, nicest way to put it. Go to LinkedIn, okay? Go to TikTok. Go where your target audience is, okay? That's first. And then go to the platform. That algorithm is to our advantage. So with LinkedIn, I don't know where I left off, but back to posts versus articles. So what I want you guys to think of is know that a post is time sensitive, but you need to post because that's how you're going to get the most engagement immediately, which is going to result in likes, comments, shares, and follows. Because on LinkedIn, as of right now, when someone else comments on your posts, their whole network sees your content, okay? Which is why it's so important to support other people on those networks. Because when you support other people, you get that support back. So when they comment on your post is seen for their network. That wouldn't happen. It would happen with an article, but because the article isn't showing up for the full article in the post, it's less likely to result in likes and shares, but that's okay. Because another key difference is that between articles and posts, articles you can share to other social media platforms. You can share to your Instagram story and say, swipe up and read my LinkedIn article. You can share to Facebook. You can share even on a LinkedIn post. You can be like, hey, I just wrote this article that goes more in depth about the post that I was talking about earlier, which that's going to tie into my current strategy that's going forth that I'm going to tell you guys about in a second. So when you create the article, it's less about instant gratification and it's more about showcasing your expertise. Okay, because remember, you get 125,000 characters. You only get 1,300 on a LinkedIn post, and I've been struggling with that. Ever since I started taking LinkedIn seriously, I was really struggling with that because, like I said, I was writing all these or posts out, and they would be around 1,600 characters, 2,000 characters, and I'm like, oh my God, now I have to spend all this time editing it down, right? So this ties into what my strategy is going to be moving forward. And what I'm going to do is not to repeat myself 20,000 times. What I'm going to do is write a post daily, which is what I've been doing. Okay. That shows consistency. The algorithm loves consistency. You guys should know that by now with social media. Okay. You can't post whenever you feel like it. You can't post aimlessly. You can't post without a strategy. You should have a goal and then you should have a strategy tying in with that goal. Okay. So I'm going to continue posting consistently, or I should say daily, on LinkedIn. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to showcase my expertise tying into that topic with a LinkedIn article. Because what can I do from there? Since I'm limited to 1,300 characters, which sounds like a lot, but really isn't a lot, right? Since I'm limited to 1,300 characters, I can extend what I'm talking about into a LinkedIn article. And I usually do that with my YouTube trainings. That's what I'm doing right here, right? I should say Facebook Lives turned into YouTube trainings. But that's what I do is I explain things very much in depth. So I can even repurpose all of my YouTube trainings. I can get them transcribed, push them over onto a LinkedIn article. So all of that article is SEO based now and it uploads into Google. So if someone is on the Google search engine and they have the question, what's the difference between a LinkedIn post versus article? Guess what has the possibility of popping up? This video, because it's on YouTube and YouTube is a search engine. My LinkedIn article, when I transcribe this video and I make it into a LinkedIn article, and my Pinterest pin, because I create Pinterest pins every single time I do a YouTube video, and my Pinterest pins link to my YouTube video. So now I have three things populating on YouTube. Three links populating on the Google search engine for one piece of, one-time effort, if that makes sense. Because I'm doing this once, right? This is the training. And then I get it transcribed. Not extra work for me. YouTube does it for free, okay? Transcribe the video into a blog post. I can create that blog post on my website, KylieFrancis.com, make it a LinkedIn article so it also populates on, not just on LinkedIn, but also onto Google. Then I can create a Pinterest pin for this YouTube video, for my blog post on my website, for the blog post on the LinkedIn article, and there was one more. What was I forgetting? You guys get my drift, right? And the best thing about LinkedIn articles is that you want to reshare them. So that's another thing I want you guys to write down. With LinkedIn articles, with blog posts, with Pinterest pins, with YouTube videos, with, blog posts on LinkedIn and on your website, you have to reshare them. Because all too often, I see people writing these amazing blog posts, they do these amazing YouTube trainings, it's amazing content, valuable, juicy, a lot of people can learn about it, and they get so down on themselves that when they post this content onto a search engine, one, they don't receive instant gratification, so then they get down on themselves, and then they're like, what's wrong with me? I'm quitting. Goodbye social media, right? When in reality, it has nothing to do with your content and everything to do with the fact that it's a search engine. So you can't create a website and expect your website to rank number one in Google, right? It's very similar to content when you post on the social media search engines. So just keep that in mind. If you do create LinkedIn articles, they are very similar to blog posts. So if you do a LinkedIn article, let's just say you make it 125,000 characters, which would literally be a New York Times best-selling novel, right? If you do that, press submit. Please, please, please don't get down on yourself if you're not receiving 800,000 likes the first day that you post it. But you will receive that, or have the potential to receive that, over 6 months, over a year. You want to know why? Because other people can link your article onto their website if they find value in it, if they quote you from it, right? That's where the backlinks come into play, and that's how your links get boosted up in the search engine. So remember, posts versus articles. Posts are time sensitive. They're status updates. They're like hey, what's up? Post that Paris Hilton selfie, press submit, you're done, right? It could last, the algorithm is to our advantage on LinkedIn, so it could last a week. In my case, one of them was like 5 years ago, which is kind of nuts. And you guys get my drift. So articles are blog posts, okay? Which means it's search engine based. It's not instant gratification. You post to showcase your expertise, because the blog post has 125,000 characters. The status update has 1,300. Both are very important, okay? So my strategy moving forward is to post a status update on LinkedIn every single day to talk about a topic, to answer a question, to provide immense value. Use the article to deep dive into that topic more. And why I want to also focus on publishing articles is for the sheer fact that it's search engine based, okay? Which means that opens up my visibility over to the Google search engine, okay? Now, another keynote before you go over creating articles, you need to know search engine optimization, okay? You can't just be like, oh my gosh, I ate a chocolate cake today, my day is amazing, and then expect to get traction from the Google search engine. So just note that if you don't really know about SEO, it's really not that difficult. Just do a Google search and you can learn it literally in 5 minutes. Maybe that'll be my next video, is SEO. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a LinkedIn SEO or just like a basic, pretty much SEO for dummies. I'm pretty good at doing that. Because I'm no rocket science, I can tell you that right now, rocket scientist. So remember that it's SEO based, so you want to structure your article based on keywords, okay? Which if you're doing that for your posts anyway, everything should be based around a keyword. So yeah, that's really the biggest difference. And another thing too, I already said this before, but I want to stress it again. If you're gonna start posting articles onto LinkedIn, make sure you're sharing them. Okay, and you can share them more than once. I love doing this, especially with podcasts. Let's just say there's a day where like not a lot's going on in my life and I'm like, oh, I'll just reshare the podcast that I was on 2 weeks ago. Because remember, just because you share it doesn't mean that your ideal client was even on, saw it, you know, got a chance to click the link because they were running out the door. You never really have an idea of, like, we can't just come to conclusions that when we post, every single one of our followers is online, right? So if you start incorporating articles into your LinkedIn strategy, make sure to share them, because it's probably not going to get it's not going to get this huge boost of traction on its own. I share my YouTube videos all the time, especially if it relates to a topic that I'm talking about, which is why it's also awesome to post content on the search engines, because you can reshare these links for as long as they're relevant, okay? I have a 4 types of content training. I can link that up here. I don't know why I started using this pen. 4 types of content training. I'll link that up here. And I've been sharing that a lot lately on LinkedIn inside my Facebook group, because a lot of my content relates around the 4 types of content, right? Even with LinkedIn hashtags, I can link that up here as well. So do you guys see what I'm doing? Once I create content, it starts all linking together. Therefore, if someone's watching this video, I can direct them to the link, which is up here on YouTube, and I'll link it down below in the comments if you guys are watching on Facebook Live. And the best thing about it is that when you get new followers, they're never gonna know that you did that video from before because they're new, okay? So we need to let go of assuming everyone saw what we did just because we posted it and get more into like being comfortable, I guess, with resharing. And I'm saying this, I might sound like a mind reader with you, but like this is how I was. I thought like when I first started in the beginning, I was like, posted it once, talked about it once, you know, I'm not gonna say that again because I posted it, they saw it, right? And then I was like, the more and more people said to me, like I would be like, yeah, I already did a training on that. I posted it last week. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, you didn't see it. I thought you saw it because I don't know. You just think that, right? So not everyone sees everything that you see online. So that's why it's so important to repurpose your content. Okay. I see that a couple of you guys have questions. So I'm going to, scroll down. If you guys have any questions on LinkedIn blog posts versus articles, or sorry, LinkedIn posts versus articles, which are blog posts, let me know in the comments right now and I'll answer them. Okay, Todd says live. I'm finally posting every day. Thanks for the daily encouragement and information. You're so welcome, Todd. Shannon says, hey, Kylie, so glad I caught you live. I'm so happy you guys are on. Yay. Okay, Shannon says, I need to press see more. Okay, there we go. Shannon says, quick question. I have a blog. I also create videos to go along with my blogs on my website. Do you think I should also post that same blog post onto LinkedIn? Absolutely, you should. Because it goes back to like what I was saying before. Not only that, you can post. So one thing that I see a lot on Pinterest and that I also love doing as well is what a lot of people will do is like if your blog post has 5 tips, you could give 3 of them on LinkedIn and you can be like, to see the other 2, go look at my blog post or click this link, which is insert your blog post here. Click this link and you can go see what the other 2 are, okay? So what that does is that it increases the clicks, the backlinks to your website, which gives your website more credibility and in the back end boosts that post in the Google algorithm, okay? So that's my recommendation. If you create a blog post on your website and you want to use the same one for LinkedIn, you absolutely should do that. But you can create some mystery around it by not revealing the whole post and just be like, if you want to keep reading or like you want to read my last couple tips or maybe like, I don't know. Yeah, read the last couple tips, leave the link there, but tell people with a call to action. That's a bonus tip that I've actually left out. And Shannon, I'm so happy you asked me that question. Tell people, be like, to read the last 2 tips, go click on this link on my website and you can read more. That's going to tremendously help get traffic to your website. And not only that, if you have opt-in set up, get people on your email list, which is huge for you, Shannon. So I highly recommend you doing that as well. So what I was saying before with the call to action is that whenever you create a status update, which is a post or an article, you want to tell people to do something, okay? Now on LinkedIn articles, people can also comment on them, okay? They can also share them. They can also like them. So you want to have somebody take an action with not just your status updates, but with your articles as well, okay? And in Shannon's case, that could be click here to read more, and it's over on my blog. You leave the link there, people will click if they want to read more, which they probably will because they're going to wonder what the last 2 tips were, okay? If you only write your LinkedIn article, write the whole article. You can also trickle in YouTube training. So like I did earlier, and I was like, click up here if you want to learn more about this. You can do that throughout the post. You can leave links in these articles. So people are, when they're, you know, if they want to read more, they want to learn more about a certain subject, they're going to click that link. And that's just, everything is like win, win, win. You're giving them value, all of the value for free. In return, they're clicking on your links, they're commenting, they're loving your stuff. It's a win-win-win. You give them value. What you get back in return is visibility and engagement. Okay? And that's how your business starts growing on social media. Awesome question, Shannon. I'm so happy that you brought that up. Okay. Okay, so Rob said I would. Some people prefer videos. Some people prefer reading. You never know who it may benefit. Share your stuff. Absolutely. That is such another great point that you guys are bringing. I'm so happy you brought that up, Rob, is that you want to create content. So there's 4 different types of learners. I'm going to mess this up, so help me out in the comments. Audio, visual, kinesthetic, something. I knew. I already knew. I was like, I know there's 4. I know I'm going to forget one. You guys get my drift. People learn differently. It's like, you know how like when you get a book and some people like holding the physical book, which is me, love holding the physical book. Some people have a Kindle. They don't really care to hold it. They just like want the information. Some people have Audible because when they listen to it, they can learn better, right? Those are different types of learning styles. That's why I love coming on live streams. That's why I love writing posts. So prioritize the one that you love doing the most and then repurpose from there, okay? I don't really have the time to write 2,500 characters on a blog post, but I don't have to because I'm saying it all. I'm on video, so you see me, I'm saying it, right? So the people that can't watch the video but can listen to me, that's like 2 of the 4. If I transcribe this, put it on a LinkedIn article, put it on a blog post, you know, little snippets as an Instagram story, little snippets as a status update, that's when it starts to become really easy for you, okay? Because you're actually doing what you love and then you're repurposing onto ones where not necessarily you have to hate, but you don't want to spend time on because you don't need to, right? That was a great topic, Rob. I'm so happy you brought that up. Shannon said, I love that. Gonna start doing that today. Okay, awesome. I'm so happy. Let me know how that works for you. If you come back to this live stream or just let me know, I would love to hear how that works out for you. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. So if you guys have any last questions, let me know in the comments. But like I already said, the biggest difference between the post and the article is one is, you know, hey, how you doing? Like status update. The other one is SEO based blog post that lives forever. One's a ticking time bomb, one lives forever. They are both important. Now, I know I said ticking time bomb, that makes it sound like it's negative, like not good. No, you want to do both because that ticking time bomb is going to get the most engagement and most eyeballs instantly, instant gratification, okay? The article is SEO based. It's a blog post. It's going to live forever. Who's seen The Sandlot? Let me know in the comments. Forever. That lives forever, okay? What's great about that? You write it once, 5 years later, you could have someone find you from that one article. And you're literally, this happens to me all the time, you're literally going to forget that you did that, especially with my YouTube videos, because I like used to do daily live streams all the time and I uploaded all of them onto YouTube and someone was like, yeah, that one time when there was a bug on your windshield. And I'm like, what video are you talking about? But people search for the solution to their problem. So that video had the solution to their problem. So you're quite literally going to forget when you start using search engines, which is the best because that's when the internet becomes your passive marketing employee because you set it up with keywords, you press submit, you're good to go. As long as that content stays evergreen, people are going to continue searching for it. So my strategy, because I do like I obviously with this video, I go on forever, right? So it's hard for me to create posts that are 1,300 characters, even though I do that every single day. So what I'm going to do going forward is I'm going to create a post and I'm going to elaborate on that into a LinkedIn article. Now, what's this going to do for me? This is going to make my content searchable on Google. Why is that awesome? Because that person probably couldn't even, maybe they're not on LinkedIn, you know, but maybe they have that question. They're going to find it because who doesn't use Google, right? So that's why the power of articles is so important. So which one's better than the other? Don't look at it that way. Use both, okay? Do them both consistently. I would definitely do the status update daily, the article. I would still say, I want to say to you guys once a day, but if you can't do it once a day, make an effort to do 2 to 3 times a week because trust me, blog posts pay off because they are search engine based. That content goes to Google. It goes onto the search engine. It lives forever. So they're both super important. They just both have different I guess sets of important, I don't even know. I'm getting to that point in the live stream where like my eyes are starting to glaze and I'm like, okay, I've been talking for a while. They both are important. They're just different in how they are important. Okay. So, okay, awesome. So Rob says, yes, get consistent and you will grow. I just started using YouTube, and once I got to 300-ish videos, people started watching and I started to succeed. Exactly. This, especially with search engines, Pinterest. Yes, Pinterest is a search engine. Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, and blogging. It's not instant gratification based. Ticking time bombs are though. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. What do I mean by ticking time bomb? That means your content goes away when other people start posting. So here's your post. You made the post. Your friend posted. You go down. Your other friend posted. It goes down. Then it goes away. Okay? The opposite is true for search engines. Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, blogging, because when you post onto those platforms, it takes time for people to search for your content. Okay? That takes time. But when they start searching for it, the longer they watch, the more likes it gets, the more comments it gets, it starts going up into the search. Okay? So it's almost like the opposite. Whereas like ticking time bomb platforms, you start at the top, search engines start at the bottom. But then it flips over time. Okay? I kind of like that. I just thought of that off the top of my head. Okay, so JR says, should we expect to see you on Facebook Live daily? Thanks for the informative video. Your daily posts have extremely... I'm trying to click see more and I can't see that. But beneficial and encouraging. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Jared. Thank you. I'm trying to get on Facebook Lives more often. My schedule, I feel like ever since my LinkedIn started blowing up, I've been busier than ever. So I'm trying to get on LinkedIn. I was going to say LinkedIn Lives. That's another thing I'm trying to get. LinkedIn Lives, Facebook Lives, to go on my YouTube channel daily. But I need you guys to ask me questions. So I'm going to end it with this. If you guys have any questions related to LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, podcasting, blogging, Facebook, Instagram stories, how to make money on social media, how to grow your following on social media, let me know in the comments. If you don't want to write it in the comments, send me a DM, send me an email. I need post topics, okay? And I love answering your guys' questions. So don't ever hesitate to ask me a question, because all of your questions are anonymous, right? When I come on here, I'm not calling out, Connection Counter Carol. Connection Counter Carol asked me a question of, should she join a follow train? No Connection Counter Carol. So if you guys have any questions, always let me know in the comments, because your questions are quite literally anonymously going to be the topic of my next live stream. So I'm going to end that at that. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the week. Look for me next week on the next live stream. I'm going to try to hop on at least twice a week from now on. I'm going to hold myself accountable to that by telling you guys on this live stream. So I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you guys on the next live stream. Bye, guys.